And no, there is no video on YouTube literally for me telling people to click on ads. You're absolutely wrong.
Please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the tragic comedy of DarksydePhil. In this series, we are going to explore a series of events and sagas in Phil's life as a content creator. And at the end of it, you'll have a thorough understanding of the whole story and all of Phil's lies, nonsense, and other bullshit he tells along the way. And we're going to start with my personal favorite, his history with Google Adsense. And to start off, you might be wondering, hey, what is Google Adsense? Well, to answer that question, I'm going to let Frederick Knutson explain.
AdSense is the system that Google uses to distribute advertisements and pay content creators for their views and the number of times someone interacts with an ad or the video itself.
And it's also important to note that at this time, back in 2010, crowdfunding through things like PayPal and Patreon and other things like Super Chats were not really a thing yet when it comes to YouTube. The main bread and butter when it comes to making money on YouTube was through ad revenue, and that was about it. So having issues with your AdSense account could pretty much destroy your ability to make money as a content creator on YouTube. Now in this next clip, you're going to see Phil give a pretty good summary of how he lost his Google AdSense in 2010. And he said during his MagFest panel in 2012.
To say it this way, the way that the YouTube partnership program works, like I said, it's based off of video views, but it's also based off of ad clicks. A hell of a lot of people clicked my ads that month because of what happened, and I made a pretty big wad of cash, alright? Not to say that that's how that program's supposed to work, but, you know, people saw I lost my job, they felt bad, they clicked the ads. So I thought, wow, this is great. I just made a lot of money, and if this keeps up, I can do this as my full-time job. Well, in the middle of December, YouTube contacts me and says, well, Phil, we feel that those ad clicks that you got last month were invalid. You're kicked out of the program. Goodbye.
Okay, and once he lost Google AdSense with no other easy pathway he could see, he decided to get a partnership with Blip TV, which was a rising competitor to YouTube back in 2010. And things were going reasonably well for him on Blip TV. He was making a decent amount of money until he completely fucked that up by trying to pretend by fucking pretending to be a Nazi and that he was a Nazi in space. He was gonna try to like resurrect the Holocaust. Yeah, I'll just show one tiny piece of it here. Yeah, and safe to say that Blip had every good reason for banning Phil.
This is what happens when you let the Jews do whatever they want. You've let the Jews overrun space, and now look at this. Their greed has had the artifact to turn everyone into necromorphs. So now I, the last remaining Nazi, must exterminate them. Hello, Jew.
I'm only gonna I'm only gonna play that one piece because it speaks for itself. It gets worse. That's more than enough to say, yeah, getting banned was justified. And how do you think Phil reacted when he heard there were complaints against him?
Phil is far from the only 28-year-old that has found themselves laid off from their jobs and in financial straits, but instead of sucking up his pride and taking a crappy job and moving back in with his parents, he has decided to panhandle his fan base. The relationship that DSP has with the fans is now totally based on money, and I fail to see how such a situation can end any way but badly. Save your pennies for your personal rainy days ahead and force Phil to be accountable for himself. Holy shit. This guy fucking is so jealous of my popularity and the fact that for 4 or 5 months now, yeah, I've been able to turn this into a business per se and been able to support myself, that he is fucking reporting me falsely to websites to try to get me banned and fuck me over, so I have to stop doing this for a living. Wow. You are a shithead.
Yeah, that right there is a perfect example of why the picture you're seeing in front of you right now is so good. It's a classic case of Phil basically saying, I did nothing wrong, I did everything fine, somebody else fucked me over. It's just perfect. That's basically DarksydePhil's catchphrase, I did nothing wrong. And if you want to see more of that, check out my DarksydePhil, check out my Detractor Masterpiece video on that. I cover that as well, a few more examples that'll make you laugh. But getting back on topic, after getting kicked off of Blip TV, he managed to get a partnership with Machinima. The rest of this video is going to be divided up into 2 parts. We're going to start with seeing just how big of a fiasco losing this Google AdSense was. And then once we're done with that, then we'll go into the real story of who's to blame for this, whether it was Phil or if it was Google. All right, and to start off part one, we're going to start with Phil lying through his teeth in 2019 when he said that he took care of his Google AdSense problem while he was still with Machinima. And this was to make himself seem like very proactive and to create the appearance that he's much smarter than people give him credit for.
Of course, the best part on top of all of this is the blatantly illegal AdSense account. Like, what? What the hell are you talking about? I've told the story multiple times. I told it in the interview with the Quartering. I've told the story about what happened with my AdSense account. Here, I'll tell it again in a nutshell. Back in the day, before I was monetizing my gameplay videos on YouTube, I had a vlogging channel that was monetized. Now, I lost my job in late 2010, and people felt bad for me because I lost my job. I wasn't doing YouTube for a living at the time. And they ran to my vlogging channel, and they clicked the living shit out of all the videos and ads there. Because they did, I didn't, it wasn't like I'd come out and said, oh, I lost my job, everyone, go illegally, break the terms of service and do stuff that you're not supposed to do. I never said that. But people felt so bad for me, they ran over there and did it. And YouTube took that activity and said, that's way too much. That's like a ridiculously unproportionate amount of ad clicks, on your content. And therefore, we're shutting down your AdSense account because of it, okay? So at the time, the AdSense account was closed, all right? And then, years later, YouTube revamped their system. And when they revamped their system, they basically allowed everyone to, not reapply, but basically to say, okay, it's been years, can you unsuspend my account? And they did. They unsuspended my AdSense account. Now, during this time period, it didn't matter. I didn't need it yet because I was already still partnered with Machinima, and then later on I got partnered with Curse. So I was partnered with other companies that were making me money on videos anyway. I didn't need to have my own AdSense account. But behind the scenes, I was smart, all right? And I made sure that if I ever needed a backup that I would have it. So I did. I went and I got my AdSense account unsuspended and just kind of sat on it for years. And then lo and behold, years later, the whole partner system fell apart. I left Machinima. I was at Curse for a year. Then I was done with Curse. And now there's literally not a single reason to even use a partner program because everyone gets the same ads anyway. So luckily I was smart enough to foresee stuff happening and trends happening on YouTube and seeing what was going on. And I saved that AdSense account until I needed it. And now I'm able to use it. Blatantly illegal AdSense account. Like, you are a fucking idiot. All right? Like, what on earth are you talking about?
All right, now that we've seen Phil lying through his teeth, now we'll see the real story of what happened when he left Machinima and he had to join Curse. And here we're going to see 2017 Phil expose 2019 Phil as a liar.
I think originally I did apply for Google AdSense on DSP Gaming a long, long time ago. We're talking 2010. And I'm almost positive that it was denied because they said it was, at that point, gameplay-related content and therefore it wasn't monetizable. Now, I don't remember if that had something to do. If you remember, then I monetized my vlogging channel, The King of Hate HD, and within 2 months, YouTube shut that channel down and said that they found click fraud. And I was like, well, it wasn't me doing the click fraud. It was obviously other people, but I can't stop people from doing it. YouTube didn't care, and they shut down that channel. But I'm almost positive that was the same AdSense account that was associated with DSP Gaming. So basically what I would have to do is set up a new AdSense account, a new everything, and try to start from scratch and get all that set up. Honestly, it was easier for me to just contact Curse and say, listen, I know you're going to take, a cut or whatever, but if you could just quickly monetize all my videos for me.
Okay, with that DarksydePhil lie taken care of, now we can go on, because it doesn't stop there. Because when he was with Curse in 2017, while he was happy with the fact that he was able to have an MCN and still be able to keep doing this as a job, he was rather dissatisfied with the fact that he didn't have a managed partnership anymore, like he did with Machinima, and therefore he was no longer protected against automatic copyright claims from like licensed music and Grand Theft Auto, for example. And so here he decided to basically jump ship from Curse and join a new company, which was Baltavi/Lavaria Media. And I go in and we can go further into that whole situation on another day. But to make a long story short, he was seduced by this company and he thought that he could get a better deal with them, so he jumped ship from Curse to go with this new MCN. And this doesn't go as planned, as you can see right here.
What is up, everyone? Phil here with a vlog I had no intention of making. If you can believe it, YouTube yet again has completely screwed something up. Nothing to do with me doing anything wrong. And it's screwing me over, and I don't know what I'm going to do. Again. It's now at the point that YouTube is screwing up so much on such a regular basis, I'm really feeling like I need to make an effort to take my YouTube/internet presence for gaming and move it to Twitch, alright? I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. So please pay attention. Basically, right now I cannot upload any gameplay videos to either DSP Gaming or KO Gaming because advertisements are disabled on the channel, and it doesn't seem like there's any way I can get them enabled, at least right now, and I need to explain to everyone the situation because it's a huge oversight by YouTube, okay? Well, guess what, ladies and gentlemen? YouTube did not disclose that not only do you need 10,000 views on your channel, you also need to have your YouTube channel approved for an AdSense account. Yes, a personal AdSense account. Regardless of the fact if you're going to use that AdSense account yourself to run ads or if you're going to partner with a network, YouTube is now requiring that you have an AdSense account associated with your channel to start before you can even get approval, okay? Then, if you have 10,000 views and you have an AdSense account on your YouTube channel that's associated with it and approved, then it goes to an approvals queue. First of all, I have 10,000 views on both of those channels. That criteria is satisfied. I have to accept the terms and conditions of monetization. That I did. The second step is have a Google AdSense account associated with your channel. Now, there's a problem here, folks. You can only legally own one Google AdSense account. Period. You can only own one. You can't have more than one AdSense account. It's not allowed per the terms and conditions of Google.
Okay, now we just heard DarksydePhil say you can only have one AdSense account, and he already had one as far back as 2009. But watch what Phil says right here. In like seconds after he just said you can only have one AdSense account. This will blow your mind.
So, I was doing this, and I did it both for DSP Gaming and for KO Gaming. First, I did it for DSP Gaming. I said, create a new Google AdSense account for DSP Gaming and associated with it. Filled out all the appropriate info, okay? Submitted it, all right? And then it went down and YouTube said, okay, your account is now ready for, for our review. We'll review it within 1 week, and we'll get back to you to let you know if you're approved or not, okay? I went to KO Gaming behind the scenes, and I did all this stuff, 10,000 views, check, accepted the terms and conditions, check. I applied for a Google AdSense account for KO Gaming. Put all that information in there, okay? Submitted it, okay, all right, you submitted, now we'll review it.
You heard that right. Literally, just like 2 seconds after he said you can't have more than one AdSense account. What does he try to do? He says, oh, I tried to create some new AdSense accounts for KO Gaming and for DSP Gaming, so that way I'd be all set. Well, you can take a wild guess as to how well this worked out. When you try to break terms of service in an automated, digitized system, yeah, let's see how well this turned out.
Thank you for your interest in Google AdSense. While reviewing your application, we noticed you already have an account with the information that matches the account you're trying to create here, and that AdSense is associated with KO Gaming. Since our AdSense program policies do not permit multiple accounts, we're unable to accept your new application at this time. And that's it. That's the email. So basically, I got an email at DSP Gaming telling me I can't associate DSP Gaming with an AdSense account because I tried to create an account and there's already one associated with KO Gaming. So I start looking into it. I go to KO Gaming. KO Gaming now says it has an AdSense account approved and associated with it. So now that's going to final review with YouTube. And within a week, I should have an answer from YouTube whether or not I can run ads and partner with my new network or not. But I go to DSP Gaming and it says your channel has been denied for monetization because you do not have a valid AdSense account associated with it and the one that you tried to create was denied. Oh my God. I'm just like, you gotta be kidding me, right? So you're telling me that KO Gaming is probably gonna get approved, and DSP Gaming now is being denied. The one channel that has all the following, the one that gets all the views on all the gameplay videos, right? The channel that everyone knows is the go-to channel for my playthroughs is not gonna have any ads and I can't make videos for it anymore. But you're gonna approve the new channel that was supposed to be for edited content. And I'm like, you gotta be joking. This is insane. This is insanity at this point. Like, what the hell? Okay.
So, to no one's surprise, things didn't go as planned for Phil. And here's the part that's a little confusing even to many detractors, which is that he was able to get an account, he was able to get the AdSense account go through for KO Gaming, even though he already had one with DSP Gaming and with King of Hate HD as far back as 2009. And most likely, the theory that's been the most widely viewed and accepted among detractors is that he most likely used somebody else's information for the KO Gaming AdSense account, and that's why that one was able to go through. That's most likely how it happened. But it doesn't end here, the meltdown continues. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel.
So I said, all right, maybe I can fix this. Let me take a look. So I looked into it. Okay, what can I do? Oh, it actually says, all right, when you go to redo this process to relink it to an AdSense account, it says, okay, you don't have to create a new AdSense account for DSP Gaming. You can link it to an existing one. Therefore, you'll have multiple YouTube channels all linked to the same AdSense account. That's what I want to do, right? So I put in the information. I want to link this to the KO Gaming AdSense. That's working. It's approved now. I put all the information in. I submit it, okay? Now the screen changes. The screen now says, okay, so you're not denied anymore for partnership. You're now back under review, okay? But when I go to say, okay, what AdSense account is DSP Gaming associated with? It doesn't show the data for KO Gaming. It shows the old data from the account I tried to make this morning that was denied. And I'm like, This is insane. So, not only is YouTube requiring that if you're going to have partnership, even with a network, that you need to have a personal AdSense account, which makes no sense because you're never going to use it, right? You're going to be linked with a network. It's their AdSense account that needs to be approved, not yours. So that step is completely and utterly broken. It shouldn't be like that. That's number one. Number two, if you have more than one YouTube channel like me, you have to find a way to link one AdSense account to all of them, but YouTube's process to do that is completely broken. Once you try to create an AdSense for it, there's no way to ever disassociate that AdSense with it. There's no link that disassociate AdSense from this channel and start over. Nothing. It just seems to be permanently linked. Even when I went through the steps to link this AdSense account from KO Gaming that works, it didn't work, and it still shows as like it's the old one that's not going to work. Now, more than likely what's going to happen is overnight or within 24 hours, I'm going to get another automated email through DSP Gaming. It's going to say the same thing. It's going to say, oh, you're still associated with an account that doesn't work, okay? And I'm probably going to get denied again.
And here's where we get to even more bullshit of him trying to say that, oh my god, the step is broken because I can't delink it from an AdSense account that's been, that's been flagged and suspended. Oh my god. It's like, Phil, come on. I mean, how many times do you realistically think that YouTube channels need to be changed from a new AdSense account? I mean, realistically, it's probably like 1 in a million. Like, the only situation where I can think off the top of my head of, like, when you would need to change from one AdSense account to another is if the YouTube channel is changing ownership from one person to another. That's the only situation, and those are pretty damn rare. So him trying to say, oh my god, it's broken. It's like number one, your AdSense account got suspended. So right there, so that's not broken. That's the system working correctly to make sure you can't engage in ban evasion.
So I did two things. The first thing I did, I wrote my partnership network, the new one, and I said, listen, at this point, I seriously don't know what to do because I can't do anything on my end, and if this denies me again, I can't even create a new one. I can't you link to an existing one. I'm stuck with DSP Gaming linked to a denied AdSense account, so I can't get to the next step to get it approved for monetization so you can link it. Is there anything you can do on your end? All right. At the same time I did that, I wrote an email because a lot of people don't know this. For YouTube channels that have over 100,000 subscribers and get over 100,000 view hours in a year, there is an email address that you can write to that actually has direct support for YouTubers. So at this point, I wrote an email to this creator support email address, and I said, I explained the whole situation, and I said, what I need you to do, because I can't do it, apparently, is disassociate this broken AdSense account that was denied and associate DSP Gaming with the working AdSense account that KO Gaming is associated with. So we'll have two channels associated with the same account, which, by the way, will never be used because I'm trying to link the goddamn channels to a partner network. So as soon as that happens, they're going to be delinked anyway, and none of this matters.
But Phil, it does matter because this was an extra safeguard put in place as a result of the adpocalypse. Okay, and for those who don't know, the YouTube adpocalypse was a very bad event on YouTube in 2016 where a series of widely viral videos that were considered obscene by their very nature, such as terrorist videos of where terrorists were openly killing people and getting viral YouTube, press for it. Those videos went viral and it made huge headlines. And as a result of this scared away a lot of advertisers because a lot of those videos of like terrorists openly killing people in a YouTube video had like Pepsi commercials on them. And so this caused advertisers to run away in a panic. And as a result of this, all YouTube creators, including DarksydePhil, saw their ad revenue plummet in 2016 and in 2017. And as a result of this, that's put Phil in a very, very bad spot financially, as well as YouTube had to scramble in order to put in place a bunch of brand new safeguards in order to reassure advertisers that this kind of bad stuff will never happen again and that their content will be relatively safe for work or at the very least not become something obscene. All right, with that, let's continue. And so having safeguards to ensure that someone has a valid AdSense account, that's just one way to make sure that you clear out any of the riffraff, to make sure that you're not going to have, like Pepsi commercials on videos where like ISIS members are chopping people's heads off or some crazy shit like that. That's the whole point. It's an extra safeguard to reassure advertisers that their stuff is going to be on content that is tolerable and is not considered obscene. That's the whole point of this. So it's very, very that was a very important step in YouTube regaining its footing after the adpocalypse. Just because you fucked up and you can't engage in ban evasion doesn't mean that the system's broken. It doesn't mean that it's pointless.
Am I expecting to get any kind of intelligent answer or help? No, I'm not. I am screwed, everyone. I don't know what to do.
Oh, I love that part. Just him shouting, I am screwed, everyone. I don't know what to do. You see why I put that in, because that is fucking hilarious. And it's not the first time, and it certainly hasn't been the last time that he would just make a massive declaration like that, like, oh my god, I'm in trouble. And yeah, it's awesome. Because I think this is like one of those few times where Phil was legitimately panicking. Because, I mean, AdSense, especially back in 2017, ad revenue was still a major part, was still a gigantic part of his revenue. So if that got fucked up, he would be in big trouble.
The bottom line is about half of the money that I make during a month is from YouTube. Yes, even though I know I'm not making those YouTube videos, playthroughs anymore where I'm hyper-focused on the game and I'm ignoring stream chat, I'm not doing that anymore for the most part. That money from YouTube view ad revenue is my lifeblood. It's half my paycheck. Without that, I can't pay my bills. All right? I don't know what to do.
Yeah, and so the layman would be wondering, hey, why the hell is Phil telling his viewers this? Why is this any of their business? Why is he making this his viewers' problem? Well, Phil's going to answer that question. And yeah, his answer is interesting to say the least.
So, the reason I'm telling you guys and gals this is simple. Number one, I can't upload gameplay videos to DSP Gaming or KO Gaming until these channels get approved and have ads enabled. I just can't. I need to save those videos so I can make money, okay? That's my money right there, and I can't just release everything for free and then go out of business. So, any gameplay that I'm doing until this issue is resolved is going to be exclusively on Twitch TV. All right. So every day I'm still gonna have live streams, and what I'll do is I'll archive those live streams on Twitch for those who want to go over there and check out those live streams. You can still be caught up on all my playthroughs and everything. But sadly, I have no control over this. It's all in the hands of YouTube, and we all already know they're inept at what they do. They don't know how to handle these situations, and chances are I'm not gonna get any satisfactory answer from the customer support line.
So to summarize, Phil's genius idea, his big brain idea on how he's going to react to this ad revenue issue, is to just upload no content to YouTube whatsoever. And to just save it all up, and then he's going to absolutely flood his channel with YouTube videos once his ad revenue situation is resolved. I mean, let's just think about this just for a moment. It's like, as shit as Phil's content was and still is, one of the few like saving graces that was keeping his channel breathing was the fact that he was consistently uploading videos. He'd upload way too much, and they were mostly just like live streaming gameplay garbage, not even taking out any of the fluff or the boring parts where he has to drive from point A to point B. But at the very least, you could say he's uploading every single day, and that helps in the algorithm. And so losing that for even just like a few days, that can hurt you in the algorithm, therefore hurt you in search results and other stuff like that. And also, when he tries to flood his channel, that's going to hurt him even more, because he was already spamming his viewers' feeds and stuff with like 10 to 20 videos a day. So can you imagine how pissed off they're going to be if they see like 40 videos in one day? I mean, it's like they would lose their minds. And so that would hurt him even more, and he would bleed even more viewership. And again, Phil is not thinking long term, because these are not things that affect you next week or next month. These are things that usually they really come back to bite you in the next like 2 to 5 years. And this has been like a core element of Phil's problems, is that he's always thinking short term. He has like zero foresight beyond like the next like week or two. He doesn't think, oh, how is this going to affect me a year from now or 5 years from now? And that's been like half the reason why his channel has crashed and burned the way it has since like 2012. But if you thought it was over, oh no, Phil keeps going on this one.
So, folks, it's not looking good. It's just not looking good in regards to DSP Gaming. I don't know what to do. I'm in panic mode. The good news is we just had a very good March and a very good April, where it looks like the money that I raised in those months, I'm going to be getting paid for that come May and June here, okay? But I've already got one day in May. I've made no revenue on YouTube because of this. How many more days is it going to be? Is it, you know what I mean? If I get KO Gaming back, like let's say KO Gaming, it gets approved, and then I can put it into this new, partnership, and it was managed partnership, do I start uploading gameplay videos there? So at least I can make some money? The problem is, I know I don't get any of that viewership for raw gameplay videos on KO Gaming. That might make people unsubscribe from KO Gaming because they only subscribe there to see the edited style videos, right? And now they're unsubbed, and that could destroy the channel. Plus, I know, like I said, I'm not going to get that mainstream viewership on DSP Gaming that I get for those videos. I'm not going to get that right away on KO Gaming. People aren't going to migrate over right away. They're going to be like, I don't understand. And a lot of people don't even pay attention. They'll come back months later. What happened here? And think that I'm dead because I didn't upload any videos. So I'm between a rock and a hard place. I really don't know what to do right now. Everything's up in the air yet again and uncertain because YouTube has screwed up again and screwed me over again. How do you think you can blame me for this one? I have no idea. This is their own coding issue that has fucked me. That is like a direct, I sat here and I coded this, oops, didn't test it, doesn't work. Well, you fucked me over. Thanks whoever that was at Google. I really appreciate your expertise and your Ivy League degree that you probably have. You're an idiot and you didn't do your fucking job. And now I'm paying the price, hundreds of dollars a day I'm losing now, not making any money.
Okay, there's a lot to go over there. First off, how can we blame you for this one? Well, I can think of several ways, Phil. First off, and the most obvious one to anybody with half a brain, is that you moved across the country to a super expensive house before you sold your old condo, and therefore you had to juggle two mortgages more or less by yourself for several years. At this point in 2017, it was about a year. So right there, he lost like probably like a good like what 18 or 20 grand that he could have had in his savings account for a rainy day. So right there, number one, yeah, so he already fucked himself over. Second of all, he leased a 2014 BMW that I explained in my video about, is this a tractor masterpiece? You decide. You can check it out on my channel. To where after he moved across the country, number one, he still had 3 to 6 months left on his old BMW lease, which was already a big mistake. Rather than resolving that before he moved across the country, and then secondly, he got a brand new BMW, which cost him hundreds of dollars a month, and that he would go on to barely drive at all. So that's number two. And number three, and the most obvious, is that he was already with Curse. Because again, he went with Curse before these safeguards went into place, including the AdSense account. So he would have been grandfathered in, no problem. He would have been just fine with Curse. But because he got greedy and because he wanted to take the easy way out instead of improving his content to make more money, he just wanted to take the easy way out, and he got greedy, then he got fucked. So right there's a few ways in which those are all things that were 100% your fault. And we're not even going to go into his boozathons with drinking gin like crazy. And we're not even going to touch WWE Champions because I could do that in several future videos. But I mean, right there. Those are a few easy ways that this is 100% your fault. Okay, with that video out of the way, now we're going to get into a video from the past, to where Phil admits that he knew full well that creating a new AdSense account and trying to was violating terms of service. It was essentially ban evasion. And not only that, but Phil said it was against his morals to try and skirt the rules and try to get around the system when he was banned. Yeah, I couldn't find the original footage because it was probably on the King of HD channel. And so the most convenient source I found was from the SOK doing a reaction to this short clip. Let's watch.
First of all, to answer one question that everyone's been asking, that question on everyone's mind, because I just want to get it out of the way. Everyone's saying, well, Phil, we all know that this past weekend, your Google Adsense accounts got shut down, and therefore, we're not looking to do anything anymore on Google with participation. But why can't you just make another partner account? And the answer is you can't. I mean, I could make a new channel.
You can't?
I could make all this other stuff, but the bottom line is this: you need a legal name and address, and if the business a tax ID to register an AdSense account, and I've already done it once, and it's in Google's terms and conditions. Once one person does it once, if it gets suspended, you can never do it again. So I'm not going to falsify information and break the law, or it's not really breaking the law. We'd be breaking Google's terms and conditions basically to do it. I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
That's not the kind of person I am. And,
Seems reasonable.
It wouldn't be right. It wouldn't be right to try to fool their system into thinking I'm someone else so that I can try to make money again. Makes no sense.
All right, with that out of the way, we're going to move on to the last major section of the Adsense Fiasco, which was when he got fired from Curse, which I can go into in a future video. But to make a long story short, yeah, they didn't want to deal with him anymore, and therefore they let him go. And this is where he had his final major issue with AdSense, because now he wasn't with an MCN, so he would have to use his own AdSense account, which was obviously suspended still, contrary to what 2019 Phil would go on to say.
Once Curse released my channel today while I was streaming, YouTube flagged the channel and said it cannot be monetized because of invalid click activity. Now that's erroneous, because there is no invalid click activity. The channel was used previously with Curse and had no problems. What happened is, last year, YouTube changed their policy for monetization on YouTube and said if you want to be partnered with any partnership company, you need to have a personal AdSense account associated with your YouTube channel. Now, at the time, there was no way to do it where if you had a working AdSense to manually link it, you had to create a new one for every channel, which is stupid as hell. But YouTube basically didn't think ahead Okay, they didn't think ahead, and they screwed everything up so that you had to create a new AdSense account to have a channel be partnered. So I created a new AdSense account for DSP Gaming, but I already had an AdSense account for my vlogging channel. In the meantime, I got partnered. Everything was fine for the last year and a half on my DSP Gaming channel. I had ads through Curse. But now what happened is that dummy account that I created just to get partnered with Curse apparently got flagged and deactivated. All right.
Okay, so right there, him just saying, "Oh, it's a dummy account," is like he's just brazenly admitting that he just created a fake account, a bullshit account, just to try to violate terms of service and to do ban evasion. Oh my fucking god! And the funny thing is that I actually am recording this after, like, pretty much at the end of the recording process because I forgot about this. Oh man, It- like. I don't know if he's got to be a dumbass because he's not the brazen balls of steel kind of guy that he pretends to be on his internet on his live streams. I mean, the fact that this alone didn't get him kicked off of AdSense is astounding to me. I mean, he openly admitted that he was creating quote unquote dummy accounts so that way he could get back into an MCN. It will never cease to amaze me how dumb this guy is. Hey, if you're enjoying the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. Alright, and from then on, for the most part, he didn't really have any significant issues about it. Until you could say possibly in 2022, when Profitech started doing an analysis and started trying to get Google's attention that Phil was potentially engaging in ban evasion by using somebody else's information for Google AdSense. And I haven't confirmed whether this is true, but according to Profit at least, it looks like Phil lost Google. He lost monetization on like his KO Gaming channel and maybe one other minor channel that he doesn't really get a lot of ad revenue from anymore. But as far as I can tell, it looks like his main channel is still monetized and everything. It looks like he's good to go over there. And now we're gonna go into part 2, which is who's to blame. Is this Phil's fault? And we're going to start with Phil in 2015 misrepresenting what invalid click activity means.
2010, I got laid off from my full-time job, which was an office job, and then people just flocked to my stuff because they wanted to see me succeed. They knew I couldn't make any money on the gaming videos, so they watched the hell out of the vlogs, and that's when YouTube decided to say that I was abusing through illegal click activity, which I obviously did not perform, but that I was somehow abusing by clicking my own videos or something and kicked me out of the ad program.
Yeah, so right there he tries to narrow what invalid click activity means as, oh, you're clicking your own videos. But that's only one of several ways that you could be engaging in invalid click activity under the Google AdSense. Now the next one, he's going to try to shift the blame over to his viewers by talking about his DSP DarksydePhil video. And he explains that, oh, the video is super viral, and therefore those people start clicking the ads like crazy, and that's why. And that's the real reason. It wasn't anything I did. It was my viewers' fault.
Not this one, but the original vlogging channel, The King of Hate HD. This was after I had just lost my job, and I didn't know how I was going to pay the bills anymore, and you couldn't even monetize gameplay videos. So I had put ads on the videos on that vlogging channel, and I was trying to find things that would bring people to the vlogging channel. So one night I had a few too many to drink, and I said, I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to do the Axe Body Detailer DSP Tries It. What this was a little loofah scrub thing that men could buy, or was supposed to be for men, and you scrub your body with it, okay? I made this video of me in the shower topless, scrubbing my body, basically slurring my words because I had drank so much, all right? It went viral. Within a day, the thing had something like 30,000 views, if not more. And honestly, because I was making so much, you know, there were ads on it, and people were going crazy for the ads. I made like $1,000 in a day on that video, which is out of control, right? But that video got so much attention. Guess what? That was the video that triggered YouTube 7+ years ago to think that I was cheating with the AdSense program, and they contacted me and said, "We're kicking you out of the AdSense program on this channel because we suspect that you're sitting there clicking on the video to get ad revenue because you made so much in one day. And I was like, I didn't. It was the viewers. The viewers went nuts for this crazy video and probably went over and went, oh, I want to support Phil, the underdog. He just lost his job. Let's all click on the ads or whatever, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do that on YouTube. No, you're not supposed to ever try to have someone click on ads or anything. It's supposed to be of their own free will. So YouTube falsely accused me of doing this myself, of all things, or employing bots and stuff to click on this video, which I never did, and they kicked me out of the Adsense program because of this video, all right? But, that being said, the video was very popular, very, very popular.
Okay, and what Phil conveniently leaves out in these explanations, as well as several more we'll get to in the future, that he not only flat out said for people to click the ads, but then later on he would go on to thank his viewers for their quote-unquote participation. And then he said that he had to be very, very hush-hush about it. And he almost directly, says to click on ads. But, I mean, he's really strongly implied it in this video from 2010.
Paid HD, and basically how much you guys participate with this channel, if you know what I mean. I'm not allowed to come out and just say, how you can do that.
Okay, and that clip just speaks for itself. Now we're going to go into Phil denying that he ever said click on ads. And then we're also going to show a clip where he says it out loud. And then he says, fingers crossed, hopefully it makes me a lot of money.
And no, there is no video on YouTube literally for me telling people to click on ads. You're absolutely wrong. Taman East just said that in the stream chat. You are wrong. Saying, well, what did I say? Comment, rate, and participate does not mean click on ads.
Please go to my partner channel, The King of Hate HD, and click on the ads that show up on the videos there, because hopefully, fingers crossed, that actually starts giving me some money.
And how do you think that Phil would react when he was confronted on the fact that there was a video on his own YouTube channel, the whole face reveal video, saying to go to The King of Hate HD and click on the ads? How do you think he would react when he's directly challenged on this?
All right. Jay Kramer just cheered. He says, I have to ask Phil, don't jump down my throat. What is that clip from many years ago? Where you apparently I asked people to click on ads. I don't remember that. Now, maybe it exists. I've addressed this before in the past. I don't remember ever specifically saying, go click an ad. I remember, if you guys remember, what I used to say was watch, rate, and participate. And by the way, I did that for 3 months over the course of the end of 2010, and then I stopped saying that altogether. So it was 3 months where I said watch, rate, and participate. And by the way, I should bring this up yet again. Okay, I should. I did not get any disciplinary action against me at all ever for doing that. Ever. All right, ever. If you don't know, people don't seem to understand. What is invalid click activity? What that means is that basically a bot got involved and clicked on an advertisement on YouTube. That's what it means. Invalid click activity. Or you yourself, under your own IP, watched your own videos and clicked your own ads. That's what that means. Invalid click activity does not mean you violated the terms of service by saying something that you're not supposed to say. That's not what it means. And that's people, for years, ever since that happened, have literally made that up and said Phil got disciplinary action against him on YouTube because he said to do this. No, that's not why it happened. It's because they said that people were going in with bots and mass clicking the ads. And how do you prove that? How do you disprove that? You can't prove or disprove that shit. It's impossible to prove or disprove anything like that.
So right there you saw, first off, he can't admit, and this is 2018, he can't admit 9 years after he said it. He can't just come out and say, yes, I said it. 9 years later, he still can't admit it. That's amazing. And then second of all, you see him misrepresent the terms of service. Just flat out, just comes out and he just completely misrepresents by saying, invalid click activity, that just means a bot got in and started clicking your ads like crazy. When again, he's trying to give people a very strict interpretation of what invalid click activity means. When invalid click activity covers a broad amount of things, that could include clicking your own ads, or it could include bots. But just to make it crystal clear, let's look at the actual Google AdSense terms of service. Okay, here's the Google AdSense terms of service regarding invalid click activity. Yep, shout out to Frederick Knutson. And yeah, if you haven't seen the Down a Rabbit Hole video on DarksydePhil, definitely check it out. Even though it's from 2017, it's a bit outdated, it's still a really good video, especially in the context of the time. So we're going to start with the highlighted section. Invalid click activity is determined by Google in all cases. That includes, but is not limited to, impressions originating from your IP. Oh wait, hold on, let's get to one. Spam, invalid inquiries, invalid clicks on ads generated by any person, bot, automated program, or similar device that including through any clicks or impressions originating from your IP address, computers under your control, clicks solicited, or impressions generated by payment of money, false representation, or request for end users to click on ads or take other actions. Then it goes on to list a few other things, but you get the gist of it. There's a wide range of things that include invalid click activity, including requesting people to click on ads. So this is an open and shut case, and Phil just doesn't want to admit it. And now we're going to jump ahead to 2019 to DarksydePhil's interview with the Quartering, who, yeah, I'm not going to say much about the Quartering except that he's an idiot. Especially when it comes to DarksydePhil, who he basically knew nothing about Phil when he interviewed him. So Phil got the one of the most softball interviews he would ever get in his entire life. But the relevant part of it is that Phil once again talks about losing Google Adsense, and he once again lies about it.
So I had a vlogging channel where I was doing stupid crap. I was making food that was terrible food and, just dumb stuff just to have some variety in my content. I said, maybe I can monetize that. So I did. And because people felt so bad about me losing my job, they actually went nuts on the ads, and I made a ton of money in a couple months, which is one of my first controversies was that I got kicked out of Google Adsense within 2 months because they claimed that I did invalid click activity when I didn't. It was because my fans were so supportive of me and felt bad that I lost my job that they were clicking the crap out of my ads.
So once again, Phil continues to blame his viewers by saying, oh, they just felt bad for me, therefore they clicked the crap out of my ads and stuff. And here it's amazing because Phil doesn't even address it. Phil doesn't even address the issue of saying click on ads. He doesn't even bring it up at all, not even to debunk it, which is absolutely amazing. But these kinds of denials don't stop here. They continue for quite a while.
Now, the other hilarious part about all of this is you got these moronic conspiracy theorists who are in the stream chat right now, and they're saying, but Phil, you did ask people to click on your ads on YouTube. Yeah, when was that video made? Think about this. There was a video made, it was my face reveal video, from the first half of 2009, excuse me. So the first half of 2009, I did a vlog with a face reveal video, and I very stupidly said in that video, one of the ways to help me out would be, I think I might have said to click on the ads, I don't remember. Okay, I know that I basically said something about interacting with ads or clicking on ads. Okay, that video was put out in the first half of 2009, and never once was I ever contacted by YouTube to say, oh, you broke our terms of service by doing this. The video was never taken down. The video is still live on the internet to this day. You can still watch it in its entirety, right? I never had any negative consequences as a result of that video, okay? So the hilarious stupidity of idiots who just want to parrot stuff and say, oh, the reason that Phil lost his AdSense in late 2010 is because of this video where he said to click on ad. The video was out for a year and a half, you dingus. A year and a half. No negative repercussions happened a year and a half later as a result of a vlog that, you know what I mean? No, what happened was I lost my job, people felt bad, and they went and they clicked on those ads to try to help me out at that point. That's what happened. It had nothing to do with the video a year and a half before. You'd have to be a complete fucking moron to think that, but these people who say that are complete fucking morons. All right? That's the thing. They're that dumb. They actually believe stupid shit like that because they have these crazy conspiracy theories about everything. So, the reason that Phil got his AdSense, taken away is because he made a video. No, had nothing to do with the fucking video at all. You're an idiot. But you make that up because you want to blame everything on me. No, that's not what happened at all. The problem is that YouTube's system was stupidly broken back then. It was easy to abuse, and people felt bad and abused it to try to help me.
Hey, if you're enjoying the video, remember to like and subscribe to the channel. And you see there, Phil still just can't come out and say it in 2019. So again, we're talking 10 years, we're talking 10 and a half years from the day that he said click on the ads. He still can't admit that he has said it. He still just can't say it. He said, oh, I might have said it. And also he's bringing up an excuse of saying, oh, that was a year and a half ago. So therefore, they didn't ban me outright. They didn't ban me until a year and a half. Therefore, that can't possibly have anything to do with it. Which is like the dumbest argument in the world, because I mean, literally sometimes it takes like 10 or 20 years for somebody to be arrested and convicted for murder. Does that mean they didn't commit the murder? No, of course not. Sometimes these things take time sometimes, and it just means that he didn't get caught yet, that's all. But now we're going to move on to the final denial, where like this is the first time I could find that Phil tackles the issue head on. And this is like the strongest, defense Phil gives. And it's from his reaction to the Down the Rabbit Hole video. He did the reaction in 2022. Let's listen.
Go to this. This is a good place to
But no
pause,
longer-
I think. Okay? So, here's what really happened. The full story, in context, okay? So, I already had an AdSense account that existed since 2009, all right? On that, the King of Hate HD channel, every video had been monetized. In fact, I had made a video to reveal my face for the very first time in 2009. And in that video, I talked about a lot of different things. Now, this was before I was ever attempting to make a living on YouTube. I still had my office job. I had no intentions of ever making a living on YouTube. But I remember specifically in that video, I said something that I should not have said. I said, I'm paraphrasing here, hey, one way that you can really help me out, if you want to help me, with the cost of the games that I'm buying to play on DarksydePhil, is you can click on the ads on my videos. I remember specifically I said it. It's black and white. It's, I said it in 2009. Yes, I shouldn't have done that. Absolutely, positively, 100%. It's documented. It happened. The video, I think, is still live somewhere, right? I think you can still see it somewhere. All right? So, I'm not going to dispute that fact. All right?
We're going to stop right there because right here he basically admits that he was lying for the past 10 years. He says, I remember specifically saying it. So right there he openly admits that for like over a decade he was lying his ass off about like, oh, I might have, I don't remember. No, he knew full well. Come on. He knew exactly what was going on.
However, what Mr. Knudsen is saying is that in late 2010, my AdSense account was deactivated. Actually, he says it was completely removed or canceled, all right, as a result of me asking my viewers to click on the ads, okay? This is incorrect. I'm going to tell you exactly what happened, all right? I had ads on my videos all 2009 and 2010 on the King of Hate HD. I had said what I said at the beginning of 2009 in that video. YouTube didn't care. People mass reported the video. YouTube didn't care. Do you want to know why YouTube didn't care? Because it didn't result in any ridiculous over-the-top clicking of ads anywhere. It didn't. It just didn't equate to anything like that. Okay? So because of that, YouTube didn't give a shit. They're like, whatever. Yeah, technically it's a violation, and we could get them in trouble or we could take it away, but they didn't. They said, whatever, we're just going to let it ride. It's not a big deal.
Now, I'm just going to say one thing before we continue here, is that Phil has not once ever shown a single piece of evidence that he was mass reported or that anybody complained at all to Google about him saying click the ads. And back then, he didn't really have like a massive troll base the way he does now. It was relatively few. I mean, he was still a very controversial figure back in like 2009 and 2010, but I mean, people weren't really mass reporting him back then. To the best of our knowledge, and Phil has shown no proof.
Now, when I lost my job in late 2010, I started a catchphrase that I said in all of my videos. Watch, rate, and participate. Back then, there has a rating system where it was stars. It wasn't thumbs up, thumbs down. Just so you guys know, that's what rate meant. It wasn't like it is today. So when I started saying this in all my videos, hey, thanks a lot, guys. If you want to support, please watch, rate, and participate. That's as far as it ever went. Never once did I say anything about ads at all. Okay? Of course, some people would say things, hey, does it hurt if I use ad blocker when I watch your videos? And I would outright say, yes, it does. Please don't. If you support me, please don't have an ad blocker on. Okay? But I never outright asked for that. After the initial time that I erroneously said it in 2009, it never happened again because people caught me out for it. And I was like, oh shit, I got to watch what I say. I want to be able to make this supplemental income to afford games and things. I got to be careful. I don't want that taken away from me.
Now, remember what he just said right there. He said, after the initial time in 2009, I never said click on the ads ever again because I got to be careful because I'm making money. I don't want this taken away from me. Well, the problem is that the one thing that Phil and Baby Diapers have in common is that they're usually full of shit. And we know he's full of shit because he said it because he said it literally 2 months before he lost his AdSense account when he was doing a Q&A video in September of 2010, almost a year and a half after he said he never said it ever again. Let's watch.
Let me tell you this, I appreciate every donation that I get. All of them go towards equipment and things for my videos, and all the merchandise that people buy, and people who go and, you know, they're nice enough to go on my partner channel and watch those videos and click the ads and things like that. Anything that I make off of this, I'm extremely appreciative of.
So you just saw it right there. And by the way, this was from Phil's own channel, the King of ADHD back then. That's where this was originally came from. So he uploaded this video himself. He's basically self-snitching on him. He's basically self-snitching right here. But he's openly saying click the ads, and this was only about 2 months before he lost his AdSense and before people started clicking his ads like crazy. Ah, jeez. So I think it's pretty safe to say that not only is Phil a terrible liar, but also that Phil is 100% to blame for losing Google AdSense. I think we've made that pretty clear. I think I've established that pretty clear in this whole video. And the thing that's amazing is that this video you're watching right now probably wouldn't even exist if Phil had just come out and said, if he had just acted like a man, acted like a grown-up, and said, yeah, I was dumb, I made a mistake, I shouldn't have done it, and I learned my lesson, and, you know, from then, and I made sure to avoid that mistake in the future, so I don't have any future AdSense problems. It's astounding. And this is another part of Phil's problems, is that he will not admit fault until he thinks he has no other choice, until his back is against the wall. And that has been one of Phil's major problems pretty much his entire life. I mean, look at the whole John and Howard thing when they had a massive falling out. He didn't address that until 7 years after it happened. He let those accusations sit there and fester for 7 years, doing God knows how much damage to his reputation. And the same thing with WWE champions. For years, he would just deny even playing the game. And it wasn't until he was confronted face to face in the Side Scrollers interview that he finally said, yes, I still play the game. And I could go on and on and on, but still, this is a major problem. And also, another thing that we can take away from this is that you don't get very far in life by trying to lie and cheat and skirt the rules. It's very rare that it ends well, as we can see right here. And you always have to be thinking about the long term. How is this going to affect you in the long term? How is it going to affect your business? How is it going to affect your reputation? And we can see right now with Phil constantly begging for money to buy groceries or to buy McDonald's and stuff like that. It's like this is what happens when you're constantly just looking for that short-term gain at all costs. This is what happens. And I think that's a good place to stop. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. And if you really enjoyed it, give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and check out some other awesome videos I've made. And the best is yet to come, I promise you. This is Age of the Tractors. I'll see you next time.